And hello everyone, welcome to another edition of XGR, XPound Gaming Radio. As usual, we're here to talk about this week's news, then the games we've played this week, and then a topic. Our topic this week is art versus gameplay. And we don't just mean graphics versus gameplay, we mean art. Ooh, but yes. And joining me for this one, as always, is Rick the Hammer.
Hello.
And Anastasia Laserbeam.
Hello!
So, kicking us off first with the news will be Rick the Hammer.
All right. So for my first one, I thought this was kind of funny when I saw it, but they're in the I believe it was the NorCal Regionals for the Street Fighter. They had a Street Fighter 4 tournament. Yeah, NorCal Regionals of this Capcom Street Fighter 4 Pro Tour. They at one point they accidentally used the wrong version of the game for 4 of the matches. So apparently, as for what I've read here, what happened was they had to the person who had the system left, so they brought out one of their other systems, and it had the digital version updated, but when they put the disc in, it used the disc version and not the update that was applied to the digital one. So it was like version 1.0 instead of 1.04 or something. So they decided to redo the 4 matches that were affected, and 3 of the 4 people retained their wins, and the 4th guy didn't. So they offered to fly him to another a future event or something because they felt bad of the emotional distress or some other funny nonsense of that he had to replay it or something like that, which I kind of get, but it's just kind of fun.
Yep.
I just picture him crying, I had to do it twice. But yeah, just funny that this is the time we live in. Where it's like, oh, we got to redo that. Why? Because that was the other version. The Hadouken has 2 extra frames on it, and everyone's like, ah.
Yep. That is a shame. I understand why they did it, why they restarted, just because each one of those patches does address balancing issues, because some characters become really OP.
Yeah.
However, for the guy that won to then suddenly lose again, this is sort of like WWE booking. He's won! Wait, his challenger's back with a briefcase!
You forgot about your other opponent. My thought is, I don't know what, this might not be possible, but I think if the balancing patches didn't affect, let's say one match used 2 characters that weren't addressed in that patch, then they don't need to redo that one because it wouldn't have affected it. But I could see, that they would just be like, whatever. It's just kind of funny that this is the time we live in. You think of all the silliness of patches and all right, I bought my game, got to go home and install it, or it's like, oh, I bought it on release day, I hope there's a patch that makes it work, and you're just like, no. It's just kind of funny that now even tournaments, it's like, oh, I have it all updated. Guy puts in a disc and he's like, no, you've undone 3 hours of work.
Yep.
Also, why would maybe it's just me, but if you already have it updated on the hard drive, why let someone put in a disc? Just be like, no, it's there. Put your disc away. We got this. It just feels weird to me.
Yeah. It's already updated on the hard drive. No, it's okay. This is all about showing that discs don't matter to people.
Part of me is thinking that maybe the guy that put in the disc was the guy that lost and then later won. This was all part of his plan.
Yeah. I would also have to ask, just for the purposes of the tournament, I might be slightly off here, but why would you use a disc anyway? Because with the Street Fighter games, they have a thing on there so you can install it to the hard drive.
Yeah.
And then, it still uses the disc or whatever, but it makes it faster for loading times. It means the fights run a lot smoother and without lag. And it's perfect. You install it to the hard drive. So if you've already got it on the hard drive, why pop in a disc? Which you're probably going to have to install to the hard drive anyway to make it awesome.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It all seemed a little, not suspect, but it just seemed kind of silly that all this stuff happened. It's like, wait, all these things congregated together, us non-tournament people go, okay then.
Our anonymous tournament general manager has told us this contest will be restarted as a cooking mama bake-off. Wait, what?
Yes. I want that to be a thing.
So you're gonna have to redo all these fights. Why? The amiibos don't work in this game. And we did say this tournament was open to all winners of tournaments, and we have the figure from the Smash Brothers tournament. That would just be hilarious if he automatically wins because he couldn't be used. So they're like, yeah, we have to let him through. It's unfair otherwise. Oh, that makes Capcom go, oh, really? Challenge accepted. You
Yeah.
cannot use Mario in Street Fighter.
I would say the amiibos are so OP after you just use them for a little while that they found a way to win.
Yeah. I'll admit it, putting a Pikachu on there and getting him to do like a Hadouken, but with like Thunder Shock or something like, Pikachu! I think that would be fucking epic.
I picture it would just pull up Blanca. Like if you put Pikachu on there. It'd
Yeah.
be like, close, whatever. It gives him like a yellow costume or something. There's probably a yellow costume for him. They just put him in that, and they're close enough, whatever.
Put on
Electric
Link.
grumbles, just go.
Put on Link and it gives you M. Bison. And everyone's like, why are you using M. Bison? Because everyone can't tell which is his name.
There you go.
That would be a really obscure joke. But no. Over to Pew for her first bit of news.
Alright. Well, some people may know that earlier today, Level 5 had an event where Professor Layton 7 and Fantasy 2 were said to be exclusive on mobile platforms, but the president of Level 5 said that he would like to bring Layton 7 also to the Wii U, even though it won't be on the 3DS, so they're in talks for that.
Nice. I'm gonna laugh if the way it brings it to the Wii U is because of their Nintendo's partnership with that company that does apps. The Wii U's getting apps onto the store that are just basically only playable on the gamepad because they're fucking like smartphone apps. I'd be like, that's not the same thing, and you know it. You know what you've
Professor
done.
Layton joins the brawl. He points at you.
Yeah.
No, they'll just make an amiibo of it and be like, well, you can see that works on the Wii U. You tap it there and it'll pull up a random game from our library.
Hey, if I can enter an amiibo in him, like, I'll take an amiibo. I'll instantly win after like 15 minutes of training it. I'll take that any day.
Yeah. Which I still have to question the logic of some of the amiibos that people want.
Mm-hmm.
That one I can understand because it's on a Nintendo system. It started on a Nintendo system and all that. Cool. Why are people asked to like? I understand he's been on Nintendo systems too, but why the fuck do people want Goku? Goku's seriously one of the most requested characters for Smash Brothers. Why? Why is he more requested than Bomberman? Why do we live in this world? Oh, you can request anyone. Okay, Goku.
A lot of people were requesting Tails, which I thought was really cool. So I'd like to see Tails there.
Yeah, that's
Only
what my
'cause
friend wanted.
Only because I'd be cheap as hell and use the Tails to fly and evade everybody and wait till like there's only one person left and then actually fight them.
That's not how Tails works. He can only fly for a short time and he runs out of breath and comes back down. And then pants on the floor. So you'd fly up thinking, ha ha, then you'd lower it down and go,
And did you say pants on the floor? You have a weird mind.
and as you're going, on the floor, Richter will just look at you, grin, and go, Falcon Punch.
Yeah. Well, I said that his final smash should be his plane comes out and he jumps on it and then he lowers on a ladder and he starts like shooting. Like they just copy Snake's old one. They're like, whatever, we don't care. It's like, why does Tails have a grenade launcher? I don't know. Because sure.
Because fuck you, that's why.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen people want Tails and stuff, and Tails, Knuckles, Amy and stuff, that makes sense. Other characters from Mega Man would make sense. Stuff like that. Goku does not make sense.
He's in no way a relation to Nintendo, I think, other than the fact that both of them are Japanese. Like, that's it.
He's also he has had a series of exclusive games on Nintendo systems. However, I'd make the case he's not even a third-party game character. He's a third-party character from a game based on something else. He's from something completely unrelated. You might as well have Hulk Hogan in there.
He'd win though, wouldn't he?
Yeah, in
Wouldn't
matches
that be
he'd have
canon? He
scheduled
just
in.
wins. That's who Master Hand is.
He's Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. You go to beat Master Hand, so like Hulk Hogan comes in, leg drops him, and wins in a fight he wasn't scheduled in, and you get nothing.
You get nothing. Good day, sir.
But my first bit of news: the 3DS has a lot of great games, both at retail and on the eShop, and it can always do with a few additions. We've got 2 new games coming out. Both set to cost $29.99 and arrive in mainland Europe on 19th of June. Garfield Kart and Paddington Adventure, which I believe is adventure in some foreign language, in London, targeting a young audience. Yeah, both those games look really horrible. Like I showed Pew, Garfield Kart.
Looks like a PS2 game. Like really early PS2.
It looks like a really early, crappy PS2 game when people were still trying to rip off Mario Kart and not doing it right. You had ones that work, like Mod Nation Racers and stuff. I'm not saying Mario Kart is the only one that can do that genre, but a lot of them copy them, like Shrek Kart or Madagascar Kart, whatever the fuck it was, and stuff. It's like
Crash Team Racing.
Yeah. Which I'd make the case, Crash Team Racing, 1 or 2 of those were good, not all. Like that one where you could actually go boom and fuse the cars together was fucking ridiculous, because you could do that, get near the end, and then just release, and you get a boost from it. So you could just join up with someone you know is going to win the race, stay there the whole lap, and then at the last second go boom and win.
There you go.
That's not cool. But yeah, it looked horrible, but I did suggest to Pew a certain mode needs to be added to this game, Rick. Garfield minus Garfield mode, where you can only play as John going around the track, and every now and again he'll then go and start to spin and act like he's been hit with nobody and no weapons or anything attacking him. I'd so play that game.
That would be hilarious.
But yeah, back to Rick for something that's probably a lot better than Garfield Kart.
Real words, they don't sound real.
Certainly would, at least this certainly sold more. Nintendo announced I think this was yesterday? Yeah, one day ago. That they were going to bring Yokai Watch to the United States, which is launched 2013 in Japan, and it was like a top seller and just ridiculous critical acclaim and all this other stuff.
Is this a show or something? Or
no, there's probably a TV show, but it's a 3DS game. And basically, you play as a boy who gets a special watch that lets him befriend and help mischievous yokai, which are they in the little thing. They look like.
Did you say a boy gets a watch that allows him to help promiscuous people?
Mischievous, not promiscuous.
They said promiscuous.
No,
so
that's
I'm just
a totally
that a
different
guy helps a whole bunch of like double D, like freaking like 25-year-olds and like.
And I would say, why would anyone want to befriend Yoko after what she did to the Beatles?
That'll be answered in the game. No,
It'll be answered never.
Somewhere in here it was funny because they claimed that, they're not ghosts, monsters, or creatures. They're just simply yokai. And I'm like, yeah, they just look like ghosts, monsters, and creatures. But sure, if you're gonna, since some, ridiculous parent group will complain, like they do with Pokemon, yeah, I might as well throw in that disclaimer. But I don't know. I would. It was like huge. I remember always hearing about like how it was topping the sales charts in Japan. There's like stores dedicated to just it. Like it was. Just a huge phenomenon over there. So it's kind of cool that it's finally coming out here. So,
is that the game I heard someone describing as the next Pokemon?
Yeah, it seems very Pokemon-esque.
Nice.
But yeah, it's where is it? Yeah, it generated more than 1 billion in retail sales of toys and other merchandise, not counting the games or music.
I'm surprised it's still doing that. I don't mean anything bad by that. I just meant I assume you saw the news a couple of weeks back, so this isn't my next news or anything. This is just bonus news for the purpose of discussion. Did you hear the people who make Angry Birds have started to starting to make a lot less money now?
Makes sense.
They said their games are still as popular as they ever were and still sell as well, but kids aren't buying toys and magazines and sweets and stuff as much as they used to. Therefore, they're not making all those fuck you Angry Bird cuddly toy money.
Well, this is retail sales in Japan, so they're a lot bigger on buying toys of heroes over there.
I have to say, in Japan, they have the ideals right with that, because it's like Japanese stuff, like Pokemon stuff, still get action figures, cool statues and stuff. Over here, like WWE, you'll get little tiny figures that click onto an iPad so you can play a game, because we don't have the imagination to play with ourselves.
Oh, you play with yourselves too much. That's
I was going to say, I should probably reword that, but But over to Pew.
Okay, so I decided to talk about the Xbox One since, like, I feel like we kind of ignore it because none of us have it.
Rick,
Oh, you have an Xbox One? Oh.
But it's okay. I'm not going to ignore you, Rick.
Thank you. That's one.
I usually
one
don't,
person.
so I think I'm allowed to once in a while.
You're trying to branch out.
Everyone gets one.
You're not allowed to ignore Rick, though. We keep that for the shows with Jim and Jeff.
Okay.
Where they can't stop ignoring Rick.
So basically, if you trade in your Xbox 360 or PS3 or pretty much any iteration higher than that, like, and this goes like you have like a higher gig one, lower gig one, whatever. Just like regular Xbox 360 and up, like gigs wise, or newer stuff, and you can get at least a 125 credit towards a new Xbox One.
Nice.
And depending, like, just say you give your like a bajillion gigabyte because you download too much porn, like thing, and there you can almost have your Xbox One paid for.
Nice. So, isn't upgrading the Xbox 360 to an Xbox One a downgrade?
Ha!
By 359.
I swear with Microsoft they do the numbers thing to take the piss. Like Windows 10 instead of Windows 9. And you're like, wait, what? Because it's worth 2 operating systems. And like you said, that's not how it works. It's still the next operating system. It's like I'm looking forward to the next Xbox where it's like Xbox 5.2.
No, it's gonna be Xbox bat symbol.
No, it needs to have a number because that'll be funnier.
I was thinking they or alpha or beta, something different.
I am still surprised PS4 was called PS4.
Yeah.
Only because of that rumor that it was going to be renamed because 4 means die in Japan. Hence why when everyone went to see Star Wars Episode 4, they totally knew someone was going to die when Ben dies, they called it. That's what I like to think happened there.
That's because they saw it a day early because they're in the future.
They are in the future. But no, that sounds pretty cool. Though you can trade it all. You can trade in the last gens to get the current gens. Although it's also a little funny. It would be better if the new. I keep hearing Pew moving her microphone.
Sorry.
Keep it still, Pew, and keep it on your head. But yeah, it was a case of that would be a much better offer, I feel, if the new consoles were backwards compatible.
Wouldn't that be nice if things didn't suck and they appreciated games more?
Yep. But my news, my last bit of news, Xenoverse this week received a 1.04 compatibility and update patch this week. Okay, what this has done is tutorials can be reconfirmed. It increases your level cap from level 80 to level 85. Increases the rate of warning during parallel quests. The rate in which Dragon Balls drop has been increased so to make them easier to collect. The position where players come back into Toki Toki City has been changed after clearing parallel quests. Players will now be back near the time machine station in Toki Toki City. The position of masters have been changed, so they're now right near the parallel quests by that news bulletin. Changed the spec when disconnected from Xenoverse servers. When players disconnect from the servers, they can still play offline, and they're took straight into the offline mode. Before this update, you just kept going to the title screen. Although time-space delivery and campaign events won't be available, online battles and parallel quests will still be available from each online reception. Countermeasure against cheating players who have been employing various cheating techniques. They will no longer be allowed to log into multi-lobbies or join online battles or parallels. Some rules during online battles have been changed, and endless battle capsules can't be used. Communication delays have been improved, and they've also made adjustments to time parallel battles and battle quests, and added stuff for GT DLC Part 2, and they've also added diversion information to the title screen. So all in all, a pretty good update. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, some of that was really warranted.
Yeah.
Some of it wasn't. Like when they said, it's increased your level cap from 80 to 85, now you can be even stronger. I'm like, why? I'm already fucking ridiculously OP at level 80. Now I found a level beyond ridiculously level OP.
OP times 4.
Yeah. But, why did I hear running water then? But yeah.
I don't know. I'm not running water.
Oh, when you keyed up, it sounded like water was running.
Nope.
Fair enough. But we're on catch-up, which is the games we've played this week, and taking us away first is Pew.
I played a game this week. Yeah, one game.
Thank you. Now over to Rick. No.
Okay, so I played what was it? Game of Thrones, the next episode, and it was really cool because it's slowly all starting to come together. Although I have to say, like Marjorie in the game, as opposed to Marjorie in and this is not really a spoiler because it's a character that's introduced at this time, so it's not. I don't know, whatever. Like she's kind of a bitch in this one, where like in the Game of Thrones thing, like she's like not. She's usually really nice and charitable and stuff. But like here, it's like you're doing stuff that I didn't do what you told, or do exactly what I told you, or whatever. And you're like, stop defending your family when you have no other choice. So you can do what I say, even though it doesn't mean anything. And it's like, bitch, you would do the exact same thing. And she's like, I can't believe you trust me. Like, you haven't helped me this entire time. You have nothing. You have nothing helped me at all. What are you complaining about? She's like, I've done all this stuff for you. I'm like, you have done nothing. So she's like kind of an extra bitch in this one as opposed to in the show, which is kind of like silly out of character and it's weird, but you know, it's fun.
Fair enough. And it sounded like you had fun with that, at least.
I did have fun with it. Like a whole bunch of other parts were cool, but it just like the one thing with her is like, because she's supposed to be really nice, and she's like, oh, I let you be my handmaidens, and I'm helping your family and whatever, and like, yeah, but like. You're just kind of a bitch, like, nonstop. Every time I try to help my family, you're always like, fuck you, it's me or your family. And I'm like, really?
Did she just say the sentence, she said to you, oh, come on, I allowed you to be my handmaiden? Wow, how generous of you.
Yeah. Like I said, she's a total bitch in here, and in Game of Thrones, she's like, you know, actually nice and stuff.
That's totally the line of, oh, come on, I allowed you to be my handmaiden. I'm pretty sure that's basically Miz versus Damien Sandow right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, I let you be my stunt double. I allowed you to be my personal assistant. But fair enough if you only played one.
Yeah. I actually played it directly after XGR last week.
Nice. Over to Rick.
Okay, so this week played some more Diablo 3, and they had a patch yesterday for it or an update to 2.20 or something like that. And they added 3 new treasure goblins. There's a gelatinous one. He like splits when he dies. He splits into like other ones. That's the only one I've seen so far. The other 2, there's one that he's like made of gold, and he's supposed to, I guess, drop.
Wait, there's more
money or
treasure
something like that.
goblins? There was already like more treasure goblins.
I know, and they added 3 new ones.
What is there like? Is this like Eevee now and like Pokemon where there's like way too many?
Probably.
I would make the case with the fact they drop treasures for your character. No player's gonna look them and go, "Ooh, I'm having too much treasures put into me."
Too much. I bet Jeff would say too much treasure. All this shit. It's not rare. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, but then it doesn't matter. If you get more shit than rares at the moment, because you're getting more of it, sell it and make more money.
This is true, but yeah.
But yeah, then the third one is he's supposed to have like friends that help him escape. Like I don't know how that works, but
Oh god, please tell me that he joins up with all the other multicolored treasure goblins to form a Power Ranger treasure goblin group.
Yes.
But do
That
like
would be
Sentai poses.
maybe some other update. But they also added 3 new legendary sets for the barbarian, the demon hunter, and the mage. And they had like pictures of them. The barbarian one looks cool. Of course, I have no use for it because I don't have a barbarian that's level 70.
May I ask, why did those
Yeah.
3 get more legendaries?
No idea.
Did they not have as much as the others?
I imagine that the if I had to guess, I don't know. They didn't say. They just said they added those 3. My thought is that they might add the other 3 in like another, like the next update,
Makes sense. That makes sense.
because they have to, they have like a new look and everything, so it's not just like new stuff with new stats. It actually has new graphics and crap with it. So maybe they're just, trying to. They wanted to get it out rather than hold them. The 3 of them that were done back. I don't know though. That's just my speculation.
Nice. I need to play you on that again eventually.
Yeah, you should log in because I know I've sent at least 1 gift to you. Because I had 1 gift for you. I want to say I had 1 for Stacy, but I don't remember. And I know I've had like 2 for Crispy, so he should get his gifts.
Nice.
But also we
break?
found like no, we found like the coolest treasure goblin. There was one that when he died, he left a portal to the vault, where you get like an absurdly just large amount of money. It's fucking wonderful. Like we went in. My wife has she used some of her Paragon points for extra gold find, because slotting and combining the gems gets just stupid pricey when in the higher level stuff. But she went in with under 1 million gold, and when we came out, like basically you go through the area, there's just gold everywhere, like all the little like how like there's like crates and stuff you could break. They have stuff like that, but it's like pile of riches, and when you break it, it's just money, and you're getting like 100,000 per pickup. And then at the end there's a boss, which is like the leader of the treasure goblins, and she's called like the Baroness. And if anyone saw Dragon Age Origins, yeah, just think of that disgusting thing. That it's kind of like that. It's got big, like floppy demon boobs. But she if she'll charge the wall, and it'll summon more treasure goblins, and it's just cool.
You mean like
and then
the brood mother with 8 tits.
Yes, her. It's kind of like a version of that, but it walks around. But
Nice.
then when she dies, like I don't know if it falls on her or what, but it like spawns I don't know if it like a busts out, but anyway, she's like in a giant treasure chest, and you open it up and just like legendaries and all this other awesome shit pour out. And then when you pick up all the stuff, it has like the little X button next to it. I'm like, okay, so I hit it. I went up and hit it to see what it does, and you like slam the treasure chest on her. She's like in the treasure chest, so you're like slamming the top of it like on her, and like blood squishes out. I'm like, oh man, and I'm just like keep hitting the button, and I'm like, oh my god, because I wasn't sure if it would end. And at some point I'm like, I turn my wife and I'm like, oh my god, it's not stopping, and I'm not stopping pushing the button. I'm a horrible person. I'm not stopping pushing this button. I'm like, God, this is like God of War when you're beating up Zeus.
That's what I was thinking of. You have that realization of, wait a minute, he's been dead for the longest. I was thinking you let go of the button, he just died. You're like, ooh, you're bad.
But I didn't,
it's
because
so
it
good.
got so much money. Like, yeah, okay. As I started with the thing, she went in with like less than $1 million, and when she came out, I think she had like 15 million or something like that. I didn't get as much because I didn't have the extra gold find on, but I still came out with like I had like 19 million at the end, but I had a lot more to start. It was crazy. We're like, holy crap, and I'm like, wow, now we have enough money that we can actually combine some of the higher level jewels. So we went and did that. Spent like several million. I'm like, this is weird. Like, this is awesome, and this is really the values. Like, it was just awesome. I liked it.
See, that's something I have to say kind of amuses me. Is a load of people from various ages will be able to tell you, like, I don't know, if they played Diablo all the time, they'll be able to tell you, okay, this goblin does this because of this, blah, 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 and go into all this infrastructure, how this world works, and yet those same people will probably fail when it comes to economics at school. It's like, that's obviously not you, Rick, but I'm saying I've seen that with other people, and it's like, how is this a thing? How can you not understand how basic economics in the human world works, when you can understand all the various forms of economics and currencies and how to get them faster and grind, and how the economy and stuff works in World of Warcraft better than you can real life? I never understand this. I never do.
Well, here's the thing with life. You just have to keep grinding, and then you die, and then that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one that was cool. I'm trying to think if we did anything else of note. No, not in that. The second game I played this week was Neverwinter on Xbox One, because that came out. It's free to play. I did try it on the computer because I know I think Tachi and Marcus like that game, and but it ran like such poop on my computer. I was glad that it came to the Master Race console people, so I could play it without checking the laundry
There you
list.
go.
But but yeah, it's the controls are definitely strange. They do work, it's not like too awkward, but it's like, oh, like what was it? I think it's like right trigger is your attack and like left trigger is the like your other ability, or it's the other way around. I don't know. It's like the face buttons. Like it kind of makes sense, and the way they have it shown on the screen, you can kind of tell what things are, but it's kind of weird to do some stuff like check your inventory is like hold right bumper and like left on the D-pad or something weird. But it was pretty cool. It played it for like hour and a half or something so far. I did like the opening quests, went some areas. I made a mage because that's what I had in the original, because I like that their auto attack is magic missile, and it's like they shoot out 1, then they shoot out 2, then they shoot out 3. And the thing is, I really hate their battle stance, because like when they run it's fine, but like when they attack they have like an orb held out, and they like have their fingers up like they're doing like almost like a ninja, like ninja magic thing, but they're like doing this like pose that just looks so dorky. I'm like, yeah, I could buy that was a person that spent their life in a tower reading books. Like, now I can cast fire. I understand because I read all this stuff, and they go out and they just assume this dorky pose, and the fighter's like, ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
But,
I would also ask, did you play this game? Were you planning to say you played this game this week, or did you mention it because it was on Xbox One to give a fuck you to Pew for saying no one owns it?
No, I had actually.
Yeah.
I had planned to talk about it because I played it. When did it come out?
Yesterday.
No, it was. I think it was after XGR, or like I think it was like not earlier this week. I think it was like late last week or like the weekend it came out, and I tried it on like I think Saturday or something.
Oh, I can never remember which days the Xbox Store updates. I thought it was Tuesdays, like PS3.
It does, but sometimes some things are out on Friday, and I think this might have been on Friday. Because this one, it's like if you're gold, you can play it earlier. Or something like, yeah, there was some weird thing. It was like you could play it 3 days. I think it was a couple, maybe it was 3. I don't know. You could play it a couple days earlier if you were gold, which is, I was like, oh, okay, well, it's just, it didn't. Yeah. I mean, it didn't matter to me either way. But I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I installed it and played it.
Yeah, Joel said that's something that amuses me.
Mm-hmm.
Xbox does it with the Xbox One, and PS4 does it with PS4, where they're like, well, if you gold, you got an extra bonus here. You can get this a couple of days earlier. Same thing with PS4. It's like most people who own an Xbox One have gold. Most people who own a PS4 have it. Were we really getting it earlier, or is it just delayed for people that didn't give you extra money?
Yeah, that.
It sounds logical.
But they always word it in a way that makes you say, "Oh yeah, you're getting
Yeah.
more benefits." Instead
Fuck those poor people.
instead of realizing, wait a minute, everyone's getting this benefit.
Yeah, that's what I played this week.
Nice. I played 2 games this week. One of which was, and I believe Richter knows this game very well, Akiba's... Oh, fuck, what the hell's it called now? Akiba's Nightmare?
Akiba's Trip.
Akiba's Trip, Undead and Undressed.
How was it? Was it a good trip? A bad trip? I mean,
Yeah.
very trippy trip.
The story of this game is really fun. I'll go more into that another time, but the story of the game is really fun, and the characters are cool. I like all the cutscenes. They did little things like when the box pops up with the text box, it's actually still narrated, so it's not the laziness which I hate. But when that's on, you can press a button to hide the text box and take a photo, and then you can take a photo on your console if you wanted to, or hide the person speaking and just do it at the background, or any combination of. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. That's like a nice little feature. Gameplay, I will say, is a little awkward to do the fights. It's not the best fight to combat, fight engine.
Mhm.
But I mean, I had a glitch a couple of times, which that's fine. But like one glitch I had, which annoyed the crap out of me, was, do you know the mission where because I'm not sure which side missions you did, because I think it's impossible to do them all because they seem to run out really fast on some of them. But but it might actually be possible. But you know the one where you got a little sister who who is not your sister,
Yes.
and she's standing on the side of the road, and you have to go talk to her and beat her up.
Mhm.
I did that for her. I hit her, and at one point when I hit her, she went through the fucking building and stayed there, which means whenever I went onto that street, I constantly got attacked by people. Because the second I appeared, I'd pull out my weapon, and then everyone would attack me. I even had a cop come after me and stuff like that for it.
F those cops. Those guys are ridiculous. I hate those cops in the game.
Yeah.
Because they're like super buff.
Yep. And it's a case of eventually she came out, and then I just killed her. But the game is actually, like I said, it's pretty fun. I mean, like I said, besides that little glitch, the only major problem I had is it lets you leave town forever and ends your fucking game. Why was this an option?
I imagine it's for completion's sake. Like maybe you needed to get only so far to get something. I don't know. Like it is a very strange function. I can see use for it, but it does seem it doesn't seem very special. Like you just kind of run across it and you're like, oh, what's this? And it just gives you a message. You're like, what? Like they don't bother to like pointing out like, hey, this over here will like just stop your playthrough. It's just kind of there.
Yeah, and it's like it just ended. Now, luckily, I can go back through with my same items, so I've still got on my Go Curry yellow T-shirt where I upgraded, where I mixed with the stats every single bit of clothing I had into one. So it's like a huge buffed out Go T-shirt, a bandana, jeans, and on my back a giant stick of meat, the kebab stick. At first, I was using the boxing gloves, and before that, a bat. But when I saw the giant stick of meat, I was like, I got Go Curry on me. That's just perfect. Fast food. I'm the fast food guy. Whack.
Have you seen the like Tokyo Tower or something replica? There's one where you're attacking with like a skyscraper, like a model of it's like one of the big items, so it's like a 4-foot tall like model, like a skyscraper you're hitting people with.
I've not seen that one yet.
That and the gumball machine I always liked seeing. I'm like,
the gumball.
That is savage as hell. Just attacking someone with a gumball machine.
Oh, the silliest is, why are they hitting me with melee attacks with fucking rifles? Shoot me!
Yeah. Just like and like the pistols, it's just like a glove. You just like hit,
Yeah.
you just like pistol whip him. You're like, what?
I also love the fact it's got dialogue choices
Yeah.
that mean fuck all to the actual story. At least it seems so far. It's not like Mass Effect where you know it's going to
Yeah. No,
branch.
However,
However,
they affect little bits and the ending, but they don't affect like the
yeah.
major flow of the story. No. Well, at one point it will, but
Cool. However, it seems to basically be awesome because it affects the conversation, so your character's talking like you.
mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not sure if it affects where you set your base at either. That one I
No.
wasn't sure, because I had 3 locations, one of which was listed as a game bar, and then 2 other ones I chose the game bar, and that's where my secret base is throughout the whole game. Were they all the same option?
It's a WWE choice, so they're pretty much. It's just 3 different ways of saying the same place.
Oh. I also loved when that female, oh fuck, what the hell's her name? The one that first appears to you. When she's like, would you like to take some of my blood or something? And you see blood on the corner of her mouth. I chose the choice. It's like, mouth to mouth with you? Oh, hell yeah. And she's like, did I just sense an impure thought, you naughty boy? And then continues anyway. And like, how many times does that woman in the suit start hitting on me?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I keep using the flirty options with her too, which I have to ask. I feel guilty about.
Mm-hmm.
Is she my sister?
The girl in the suit? No.
Oh, okay. Because when she first appeared, at least 2 or 3 times in different dialogue options, one of the choices was, "It's my big sister."
Yeah. No, I think it's a.
You're flirting with your big sister.
It's like a Japanese.
Congratulations. Welcome to Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's not exactly. No, it's more like he's saying it, like, oh, you're my bit, like, trying to pretend like he's really close with her. I believe. Yeah, no, He's not actually related to anybody.
Yeah, I thought maybe if I chose those, suddenly she becomes my sister. Because one of them was like, "Whoa, my big sister! Don't you recognize me?" And I'm like, "What? Wait, what? No, I'm not gonna choose. I'm gonna hit on you. Wait, why are these the same option to the same person?" Maybe I need to better understand some of this. I don't understand how you make the characters like you more or less, though. Because there's that guy who stands in the place. That sounds weird. I'm talking like Pew. There's that guy that stands in the game bar to tell you how all the females are feeling, and every time I speak to him, he's just like, "They have no strong opinions of you either way." So I don't know if that's a joke or if you do something to earn.
No,
it.
it's the dialogue options. There are certain ones that will increase their affection.
Nice.
But it takes a while to really affect it, though.
The one thing I've had issues with, and I assume I'm fucking up, not the game itself, was scanning for not vampires when I'm in the streets. Because on one of them you had to scan this whole area, and I could not find a single one. And I went around the whole place and couldn't find any of them. It's like really crowded. I couldn't tell how I'm fucking up. Like, what do they look like when I scan them?
Okay, I did that on the Vita one, and I believe what I figured out what my problem was I was in the camera mode. You have to like swap. There's camera, and then there's the one that'll show the which one's in Synthesizer, and you have to. It doesn't tell you that you have to. Yeah, like there's 2 different options for the camera, and I didn't realize that at first because I was looking. I'm like, nobody's showing up as different, and then you'll know because they look all like kind of like blocky around them, and like once you see it, you're like, oh, okay, like it's stupid obvious, but they don't tell you that you have to switch the mode of the camera, or that wasn't apparent to me. At least I think that's what I did, because I had that problem when I was first playing it too, where I was like, they're not looking any different. I just started like punching random people.
I found the scan function, but my one was I went around the whole area, not a single person looked different, and every time they started to glitch or looked different, they suddenly went back to being normal and were clearly not vampires. It was weird, but yeah, like I said, I still enjoyed the game. It's so fucking fun, and I loved some of the dialogue options that you can choose. Like one of them, when I hit on best friend girl, was "Whoa, da, you're so beautiful." Whoa. And she's like, really? Who talks like that? You've been watching way too much anime. I also loved one of the choices I chose on my dialogue thing was they said to you, what is your plan of action? Is it A, to go with her? B, to go with her? Why do I keep hearing squeaking and stuff? Okay. Or dialogue option number C, Rick.
Uh-huh.
I keep hearing loud noises from Pew every time I speak. Is she doing that intentionally?
Maybe. I don't know.
Pew?
I'm not doing it intentionally.
Oh, okay. Because it sounded like you muted and unmuted right when I was speaking to do it again. I was like, what? But yeah, I said, or the options were A, go to her for the plan. B, go to her. Or the option I chose with C was to say, well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm thinking, let's binge watch anime on my DVR. And they're just like, really? That's your plan? And I was just like, you know what I mean? It's just little stuff like that. It's just so funny. Like, I don't know why, but because I like to get into the character and stuff, because from the whenever I'm doing these and make the character how I think they should be reacting and stuff. That may sound weird, but that's how I like to play these types of MMOs with choices. Because he was taken in there because he was collecting figures, and that's how this all happened to him. I've just played him as like a complete dorky, like little obsessed fan. There's been more serious ones, but I just loved some of the dorky choices for him. I was like, what? Like an anime style thing. But there was that. Which I do plan eventually to review that with Rick, and maybe, possibly, I haven't decided yet, because that's entirely up to Rick. One day we may see if we can go to Party on PS4 and do a live stream of me playing it with you doing the voice at the same time. That way you'd be able to tell me like how I'm fucking up, or be like, really, you chose that? Really?
Well, one nice thing, I kind of wish, like, because I beat it on Vita and that doesn't transfer over to the PS4 version, which I wish it did, but once you beat the game, there's actually a thing you can turn on, so if the dialogue option affects one of the girls, it'll put an icon there, and I like that. And I'm like, oh, but I already beat it. Can't I just have credit for that?
Does it count if I beat the game by leaving town?
I don't think so.
Although,
did you see on I didn't play around with this very much, but on the PS4 one, there's like it's like a toy box option or something like that, I think, where it just unlocks everything, so you can just kind of screw around. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm like, that looks cool. However, I want to know what the story is and do that first. Then I'm going to go to toy box. But yeah, you got the PS4 one, which means when we go to review, you'll have to be able to talk about the PS4 one too.
Yep.
Nice. I was thinking you may not have had the PS4 one, so I thought you'd just be there to talk about the other versions, tell me if anything's different.
No, yeah, I got the Vita one and then later the PS4 one.
Nice. Yeah, that game's fun. Like at first when you were doing XGR and you described stripping them and stuff, it was a lot sexier than what I thought in my mind.
I know, right?
Then when I'm playing it, he's doing like anime, like Sentai Power Ranger poses as he's going through chains and as they're all just behind him. And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
I like that you can unlock other animations. Like it's in a piece of equipment what animations you do. So like if you do that battle arena, like when you win the different ranks, you get a thing that you can equip that'll affect what animations you do to strip them.
Nice.
Because I like one where he like hits him a lot. Like the head one's kind of weird, but like there's one where he'll like slide on his knees and like punch him in the stomach and then just rip off their shirt. Like I don't know, I like that one where he just like hits him a lot and then pulls it off.
Nice. I know there's different walk animations, which was kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Some I've not chose any of them because they've all been goofy as fuck. Like, ooh, with his arms waving or looking at his phone as he's texting or girl walk.
Yeah.
Also, there is one question I had for you which I don't understand, Rick.
Okay.
I keep getting girl clothes.
Yes.
But I can't put them on any of the girls because they're like, I like the clothes I'm wearing. And when you go to create your character on the PS4, unless I've missed a button, you can only make a boy character.
No, once you go through again, you can make a girl.
Oh, okay.
You can be a girl. And also, I don't know if you have to get their good ending, but when a girl likes you enough, then you can change her clothes.
Oh, okay.
But I don't remember if I don't think you have to get their ending. I think that you just have to get to the point where their affection is high enough, and then you can actually change their equipment, which is really nice. And
Nice.
I believe there's a point where you can actually put on girls' clothes as a boy. I swear there was a trophy for it in the Vita one or something. It's like, unlock the ability to wear girls' clothes. And I'm like, yay?
Yay. I would possibly do that just because one of the girl ones I got was black sneaker girls. And I'm like, okay, how? It could just be, it's just sneakers. That
Yeah.
doesn't matter. But some of them have been like cool sounding stuff, but it's been like girls only. Like, come on, it looks that sounds unisex.
Yeah, there's okay, I don't remember. I want to say it's Junk Street. I know it's weird, but there's like one of the areas. There's like a long alleyway that leads out, and on the right side, well, if you're going toward out, on the right side, there's like a little booth. Then that guy has the DLC stuff, which is automatic in the PS4 version. It's included with it.
Nice.
But he has there's like a set of armor from Ragnarok Odyssey. And it looks really fucking cool, and there's like a big broadsword that looks awesome. But like, yeah, it's for like girls, and I'm like, oh, I want to make a girl, but it's like really cool, like medieval, like spiky fantasy armor.
Right.
It's really cool, and like the sword he has for it, like I said, is really cool. But it's like a two-handed sword, so they're slower. But like he also has the prinny that explodes, and the prinny's awesome. So I have to use the prinny. You hit people with a stuffed penguin, and it does the explosions on them. Like it's pretty cool.
Nice. I did have two questions. One is it's not made by Sega.
No.
Why is the Sega building the biggest one? Because when I saw that and it's on the main menu, I thought, okay, this is made by Sega. That's why at first I misread when I saw something was Sonic. It was Super Sonico. I was like, oh, cool, Super Sonic. And I was like, oh, it's something else.
I think it's the biggest building because as far as I've understood from what they said about the game, I mean, granted, this was, like the people making it, but it was supposed to be pretty accurate as to how that town looks. So as far as I understand it, those shops in there are actual shops that are there. So I think that the reason that the Sega building would be there and be big is because they probably have a big Sega building there.
Nice. I just thought it would have been the one for people that make the game. You know what I mean? Like advertisement.
Yeah.
But
no, as far as I understand it, it's like legit
nice.
stores and stuff, which is cool.
Nice. It now scares me a town like that exists. But yeah.
Well, I don't think it has the vampires, but other than that,
it's accurate. No. But the other question I was going to have, which may sound silly because I think I already know the answer.
Mm-hmm.
The adverts when you fast travel, they're for fake products, right? They're not for real products.
No, I believe they're legit ads for the places for the stores in the game.
Oh, okay. I couldn't tell because some of them were like on Blu-ray and anime, and it was that Hyper Dementia game you talked about on Blu-ray. I was like, that's a game, not an anime.
They did make a show of it though.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. And one of them was like an advert for meatballs in a tin, and I'm like, this has to be a fake product.
Yeah, which is like that should bother me that it has like, as far as I can tell, real ads in it. But since that's a place I'm very unlikely to go, I think it's kind of cool to see those ads actually. But yeah, I believe because some of the ads I noticed were for stores that were in the game, and I know that those are real stores, so I think they're actually real ads.
Nice. See, that doesn't bother me because it's like if I'm playing GTA London and all the adverts in the game are for London places that are in the game, it's less bad. Like when I'm playing the WWE game, which is another game I played this week, but I'll talk about that next week. But when I've done more, because most of today was just rebooting Universe from the get-go, and I spent over 4 or 5 hours just creating stuff and setting everything up. Soon I shall play. No. Like one thing I did quickly was they have arenas from on the Ultimate Warrior pack.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is WWE Live from like the 1990s. I've set that as a weekly show as minor to be my house shows because it says live and then when you go in there, it's just like a plain arena with like really plain looking crowds, and it looks like a bingo hall-ish thing. So like, this totally works for like a live event. It works like a live house show. But yeah, I was just setting all that up, like downloading like the Face of Fear costume for Bray Wyatt, and getting all a load of people's costumes right, and setting up all groups and stuff like that. Which that takes too long with the wrestling game, setting it all up. Like day one on the wrestling game, most of that sense setting up universe mode for me.
Yeah, like making your character and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, making the character, making entrances, moveset, then universe mode to set up which show everyone's going to go on, where I want them to go on, what tag teams I want, or which ones I want to be face for heel, costumes I want, and then it's like, now I can play.
Yeah, it's like day 2. I can play the game.
Yeah. Which I don't mind. I never mind because I love doing the creative stuff, because if you don't like that stuff, you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
It's just, if you do like it, you can go really anal like I have before now, just creating all of this content. But yeah, but I believe it's time to go to our topic.
Yes.
Which, our topic this week, ladies and gentlemen, is art versus gameplay. And what I mean by this, and what we mean by this for the topic is, we don't just mean, oh, look at how pretty the graphics are, and our graphics better than gameplay. What we mean is, there's loads of games that are clearly like, oh, look how artistic this game is. This game's not meant to be a game, it's meant to be enjoyed as art.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? Should this be a thing? But I don't know. Well, what do you think, Pew? If you're there or not, I don't know, because
I'm still here.
I kept hearing noises, so I thought you were busy or something.
I know. But like the game Okami, like that game is like totally art, and the controls are okay in there, but like mostly I feel like it's almost like the whole game is pretty much a walk around gallery of just like awesome beauty, and you also have stuff to do.
Yeah. Now, I will say I don't mind some of these artistic games-ish, if that makes sense, like if that's the purpose of it. Like, who remembers Mario Paint?
I do. I swatted all the flies.
Yeah, that was cool, because okay, it's still a game because you're still doing stuff. The art in that, it's not just the artistic thing, that's actually part of the game. In a, you know what I mean, in an intertwined way. I feel like we had a game on the old Amiga called Hanna-Barbera Cartoon Studio, where you got to use templates of Hanna-Barbera characters, or you got to include drawings yourself. This was like fucking years back, and it seemed so advanced. And then that'd be like frame 1. Then you go to frame 2, and you do it again, and all that, and it puts it together like a little animation for you. Which that was cool.
Yep.
I wish there was more stuff like that.
Yeah, dude. When they were like when the DS came out, I was like, we need a Mario Paint on this. Like, this is perfect for it. You don't even need the mouse. You have a touch screen. And I don't know why. What has been 8 years since that came out? We still don't have. Come on.
You have Pokemon.
The Draw Academy? No, I want like Mario Paint that had like the little games and you can make the music and shit. Like, okay, they made a game that was similar to the music portion called Electroplankton, and I wanted that game, but you couldn't save it, which boggles my mind. So I was like, no, I'm not. And it was like nigh impossible to find a copy for a long time because it was like you could only buy it from like the Nintendo store. So it was one of those ones where like if you found a used copy, it was like $50 or more.
Nice.
Because it was stupid hard to find. But yeah, it's like, why can't you just re-release Mario? Not like re-release, but like make another Mario Paint, because that game was amazing.
Well, at the very least, why not release it on the Wii U's Virtual Console? It has a touchpad.
Yeah.
Yes.
It makes zero sense why they haven't done that one.
Also,
I want to feel that it might not have sold as well as they wanted back then, but I feel like it could easily sell nowadays.
Yeah, it's a game that people still, to this day, you can go on YouTube, type in Mario Paint and something, and you will find that song made in Mario Paint with people have spent hours doing with the tunes.
People did everything on that. People have done like Legend of Zelda. People have done like full out like orchestras like on the freaking weird ass like sound effects and the whole songs, and done over and over again.
Yeah, the Legend of Zelda and Mario would be less cool. Would be less if come on, they haven't already done multiple crossovers like Mario Kart.
Okay, someone did the Still Alive Portal song in the
Nice.
Mario Paint,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
that was
that's
pretty
cool.
awesome.
That is awesome. And I was just slightly joking with the link thing
Oh, okay.
due to the Mario Kart thing, because I don't think it just gives you the link. Because songs like you can just import Legend of Zelda tune, done. But you
Yeah.
have to make it, which is a lot of work. Like it boggled my mind back in the day because of how bitter this rivalry was. When I'd seen a friend of mine actually made in Mario Paint. And I'm like, oh my god, you made Sonic! You made the Sonic song in Mario Paint. That shouldn't have happened. That shouldn't be a thing. How
They
is
will
this
come and
allowed?
get you.
Yeah, how is this allowed? Nowadays, you see if anything like if there's something to do with like Little Big Planet on PlayStation, you know someone's gonna make an Xbox logo and put it in
Yeah.
there, thinking they're being cool and hip. Or vice versa on the Xbox, and they'll be like, oh, look, we can put a PlayStation logo. Look how cool we are and unique.
I made Mario in Project Spark.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm like, that's great. I don't mind if people do it because they're fans of them. Like, I've seen people on Little Big Planet actually make a Xbox system. And when you jump on the control pad, you actually go in the game and you're playing like a top-down shooter where the person made like a Halo-looking dude.
Yeah.
And with all the stuff that was in there, like some of the stuff I didn't even recognize, but people had pointed out to me, oh my god, that's such and such. Oh my god, that's such and such. I'm like, okay, this guy clearly liked this. He's not just doing it to go, ha ha. Screw you, my Sony. I've shown you by buying your content. Oh, wait. You know what I mean with that? But yeah, the actual artistic stuff is like, I keep hearing like The Last of Us, for example, and I know this may be a little controversial because people seem to love The Last of Us for some reason, but The Last of Us, which wasn't a really good game in my opinion, it was just really artistic. They're still talking about The Last of Us right now, and do you know what they're talking about? The fact they managed to get the face to move in an accurate manner, and I'm like, okay, so what about gameplay? Look how the face moves. Look how artistic this video is. I'm like, I don't care. I want gameplay. I don't look at games to be art.
I don't like in that game where like I feel like I don't know. I'm not very good. Like I have to be a super good ninja, and I'm not very good ninja. And every time I try to throw something or whatever, it usually goes off around me instead, and I die.
See, if you want a good ninja game, Pew, you totally need to purchase Ninja Bread Man on the Wii.
What the? I don't think that's a real game.
It is.
Oh my god.
It's one of the
Ninja
worst
Bread
things.
Man.
I think it's based on how Victor goes, it is, and he's like all ultra serious. I guess he's also seen how terrible that game was.
I've seen a bit of it. Well, back when it was gonna come out, I wanted to get it because I just love that name and I love the concept, but I never got around to actually buying it. And then, I watched some like gameplay of it. And I'm like, oh, this game sucks. And then it was like dirt cheap at some point. And I was like, nah, I think I'm good. Thanks, Ninja Bread Man.
Yeah, I bought that when it came out because I was like, oh, I love the gingerbread man from Shrek. I like gingerbread men. They're kind of cool. I like ninjas. How can this possibly go wrong? I mean, you even got a cool name of Ninja Bread Man. And yeah, this happened.
Are you sure it was Ninja Bread Man and not Ninja Bread Man?
No, it's
Was
Ninja
there,
Bread Man, like gingerbread man, but
was
ninja.
there a hyphen? Because like if there's no hyphen, it would be Ninja Breadman.
No, it's a space. Ninja Bread
Okay.
Man.
Okay.
Yeah. And are you okay today, Pew?
I'm okay.
Oh, like I said, we keep hearing loud clicks and stuff from your end, so I thought maybe you were uncomfortable at moving or something.
No, I'm just lying on my floor with like 6 million blankets because it's cold.
When you use your space heater.
Because I pay for electricity now, and it'll use all my electricity, and then I'll be poor.
Now you know why your landlord said no.
Hey, if you signed an agreement, you signed an agreement. If you forgot to read it, figured out how it works, that's your fault for being stupid.
To be fair, yes, I agree. Due to the fact you mentioned, he said in because you mentioned to me, he said that the agreement didn't cover a certain amount of wattage or whatever it was from certain devices. So something like that is too powerful for that what it allows.
Exactly. And he said
Which
that I
mean,
could use any
yeah, which
amount of
mean,
electricity.
no, I mean, you said that was actually in your agreement, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I think Richter understood me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
she didn't, but yeah. It's a case of, yeah, like that game, it's on PS4 right now. Oh, what the hell was it now? Something with birds that fly and they make pretty colors.
Entwined?
Yes, I'm not even gonna say.
The one that was at E3 that
Yeah,
like a bird and
Entwined.
a fish that love each other and it looked like a headache.
Yeah, and I'm like, looking at it, I'm like, it's not even. You can't even say, oh, graphics, because it's not.
Yeah.
It's just artistic. Look at all the pretty colors. Ooh.
I'm just imagining angry birds that learn how to fly so they don't have to be slingshotted anymore. Or something. Right, that's how it works. I don't know.
They don't need to be slingshotted. They have carts.
Oh, but do they? I don't know if you're serious or not.
They still have to be slingshotted within the game. I was just making a joke because Angry Bird cart is a thing.
Oh, is it? Oh. How do they do that? They don't even have arms.
How does Goomba?
Okay, fair enough.
How does Baby Mario reach the pedals?
Because he has a tiny car, or he is
How
like
does he
those
understand how to drive? He's a baby.
Because, like, in Indiana Jones, they had that tiny Asian kid who could drive, so that's how, like, all the other ones can drive.
How did Yoshi get his driving license? Because if he goes to the fucking what is it,
DMV?
DMV, and actually went to go and get his driver's license, they'd say to him, "No, you're extinct. You're not even supposed to be alive right now. Seriously, you should be in a museum somewhere, just stood still." I'm not going to give you.
Well, at least I imagine the baby ones, they have those things attached to their feet, they give them extra range.
Yeah.
Like those giant wooden blocks or whatever.
Yeah, and where's Mario? Can I get a driver's license? Let's see. Look at his list. Fuck it, you've been a doctor, you've been a plumber, you've been everything. Fuck it, here's your driving license. Move the fuck on. Because I see Mario as the Richard Branson of Nintendo. But yeah, nothing with Mario Kart makes sense. Like, why do they keep inviting Bowser to go-karting?
It's good sportsmanship to invite Bowser to a race.
It's not, because he constantly kidnaps people. He should be in prison. This would essentially be like, if I kidnapped someone you loved, would you then go, you know what, let's go-karting? Like Richter.
Well, why does he shouldn't show up? Because Mario keeps like coming over illegally into his border and breaking all of his houses. So they're illegal in each other's country. That's how it works.
Yeah, it's like Richter.
Mm-hmm.
You're happily married.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just assume that Marcus kidnaps your wife.
Okay.
And for some reason, he does it multiple times.
Okay.
And you haven't killed him after the first time.
I'd be second in line, but yeah.
Are you going to turn around and say to him, you know what, let's go-karting? Oh, and let's also play golf while we're at it.
Go-karting, maybe? Because I'd just be like, yes, just get in first place, and then the blue shell will take care of this.
Yeah, please.
Even from 8th place, you can hear the, God damn it!
Also, with the blue shell, because it's impossible for Mario to chuck something that distance, because he doesn't have a power-up, the fact it has wings and goes, that means it must be a living Koopa that's flying. Is that like Al-Qaeda with the Koopas? Allah!
I thought it was like a heat-seeking missile, like it's automatic, like you just go, it already knows how to go, like it'll just track the first one.
That's
like
not how turtle shells work.
I thought it was a robot turtle shell.
A robot? Okay.
It's a blue one. It's the same one you could eat as Yoshi to give you wings.
Yeah, but I thought this was like a robot one because it's intelligent and it's a robot.
Mm. Yes. It must be a robot because it's capable of saying, "Oh, that dude's all the way in front. Let's just hit him," instead of picking a target somewhere in the distance.
Well, I thought it used super sensors and things
No,
inside the shell. Like there's a whole computer base inside the shell.
yeah. I can't believe there's so many explosions on the finish lines. You'd think the Mushroom Kingdom was Boston.
Whoa. Wow.
Oh my God! There's actually a friend who was there and can't even sit through explosions or fireworks now because of that.
Tell her to listen to this podcast.
No.
And I will say that was just a joke. Sorry.
I know it was just a joke. It was just funny that you mentioned that specifically because
I
that's
love
exactly how she was affected.
I love how Richter's just like, wow, like that's you finally found it. But no. And what do you think, Rick, about artistic-y stuff? And do you have any examples?
Yeah, one example. I actually have two, one on either side. But one more along the lines of Last of Us would. I will admit I have not played this game yet. But the Order 1886, which was fairly recent, because the developers themselves were, they were saying like, oh, this is, we have a very movie-esque, presentation. Like they kept talking about how movie-like it was, and one, that's a red flag for a game, but two, that was kind of a thing where like that seemed to be their thing, was they wanted to make it very cinematic, and it even has black bars on the wrong side. I don't know, like it's supposed to, it sounds kind of silly, like it's black, like it's in the wrong aspect no matter what TV you're in, which is like what, like, but
It's not
yeah, and
that game is not good. I have played that game. I think it was on my brother's PS4. I played that game. No joke. He said to us, "Okay, just here you go," and he let me play it from the beginning. I was there for like a couple of 2 hours, if that, and I got like 50% done.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I've heard that
it's too short.
Even if you're like dying and like dicking around and not going objective to objective, like you're trying to find I assume there's collectibles because there's always collectibles. But I assume if you're like poking around, like if you look like me playing Resident or Operation Raccoon City, like I imagine if you're like that, I've heard if you're like poking around and dying and playing on hard, it's still like 7 hours maximum to get through the game. So that seems like a really bad thing where it's like, oh, okay, here's a $60 game and it's all cinematic. We made it look all pretty like a movie, and it's like, oh, it's a little bit longer than one of the Hobbit movies, and debatably more or less enjoyable. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's like, oh, I don't really want that. Like I'm all fine for it looking pretty, and you can make it somewhat movie-like, but at the same time, you have to understand how, not like you as in people.
Well, you have to see if they think it's movie-like. You say, the price of a movie?
Yeah.
About $8. Okay,
so
if you wanted to make a movie, you can charge a movie price, $8. So all I have to do was take that 5.8, take off the 5, boom, sold.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, reduce price by $50 and we'll talk. But yeah, it's like, I'm gonna make it all cinematic, but it's a game. It's if it's a very fulfilling 5 hours, maybe. Like even then at $60, I couldn't do that. Even when I had more money and I bought like way too many new release games. Like if it was $5, I would just be like, no, I'm not playing that at full price. Like that was ridiculous. Like if it was
back when you used to go up to people and just slap them in the face with your long hair, going, ha 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 ha, this will never come back to bite me.
No, I never had hair long enough to slap people in the face. But
I like to think that.
But there was a time where I had like 2 jobs and my wife had one, and we didn't really have kids, so we had a lot more money. So, and I worked at a game store, so like my friend who also worked there would be like, "Oh, look at these new games that we can reserve today." And I'd be like, "Oh, cool," and I'd reserve them. It's like set an obscure Japanese game, bow, put fucking $5 on there. I don't care, I'll buy it, and but like even then, when I would just buy stuff at full price. If it was like, oh, it's got 5 hours of gameplay, I'd be like, yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. Yeah. If it was like a $30 game, I could almost justify that, but not a $60 game for 5 hours. No, It's not gonna.
Yeah, I've mentioned that before. Now it's like if a game comes out, as much as we don't like it, like Destiny,
Mm-hmm.
and it's God knows how many hours of gameplay for $40, $50, or Xenoverse that comes out with multiple fucking replay value, or the JRPGs you play with like 20 odd hours gameplay, 40, 50 hours gameplay. A game that comes out with half of that and half the content should be half the thing. It's like movies. If a movie comes out, like say, I know, Avengers, let's just go with that because everyone's heard of that. Let's say Avengers comes out. That's going to be, I don't know, $20. Let's say for you guys, if it'd be like $20 on Blu-ray or
Mm-hmm.
DVD.
Yeah.
If something comes out like Shrek the Halls, which is 30 minutes long, that's like $5, $10.
Yeah.
Shouldn't games be the same way?
It should. Yeah, I think length should somewhat dictate game prices because it seems. Well, I mean, I wouldn't want it to go crazy out of hand because like, oh, 80 hours, we'll charge 100. Like, I don't want that. Like Skyrim, I don't want them to charge what that would be worth in time because that'd be ridiculous. Or
Skyrim will
Minecraft.
cost you the same as a student loan.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, or like Minecraft, that'd be like the same price as a system. but yeah, it just feels like 5 hours is crazy. And like, I mean, if a game's short, like we were talking about Akiba's trip earlier. That's not like the longest game. I think it took me about 10 hours maybe for one run through. But there's multiple endings and there's reasons to play through again. Like you can still have fun, but like the order. And like I think I'm gonna say also Last of Us, even though I know that there was one minor change for a second playthrough, but it's there's not much to do in a second playthrough. Like the order doesn't change. There's only if you want to experience the other parts of shooting. It's
Oh, that doesn't change.
Yeah, the order it's always in the same order. But it's just like if there's like something like let's say a fighting game. If you just went through the story mode, that could be like what 20 minutes, but you could do it with all the characters, and really the pull is playing with other people.
Yeah.
So like you're going to get a lot more value out of that than just like the 20 minutes. But like something like the Order of the Last of Us, where the story is a couple hours and the gameplay may not be that great, so you probably don't want to redo much of it. And you don't get anything from going through again. There's no alternate path, no alternate scenes or
It's
anything.
not Mass Effect. It's a crazy choice.
Yeah,
like everything.
exactly.
I'd say I would make the
not
choice. I would make the thing of it. You should pay less if there's less content, and if developers go, "Boo! What do you mean?" Well, we should only pay more for more content. We shouldn't pay more for less content. And if developers are like, "But how? That's not how this works." And it's like, "Then why are you charging us money for extra content when it's DLC?"
Yeah.
It's because you realize more content equals more money. Therefore, if a game's like 2 hours to complete, like a movie game where it's like walk through and you've done it, that should only be like, say, I don't know, $20, $30 at max. It should be half price of the max.
I kind of think of this like each episode of one of the Telltale games. That takes me like 3-4 hours to get through like an episode. And like how much would they say an episode individually? Like what? Like $7, something like that?
Yeah, I want to say it's like $5.
And it's like 20 for the season pass.
Yeah.
20 for the season pass, and each episode, which is like 5 episodes, is like an hour each. That's 5 hours gameplay for $20.
No, each. Are you kidding me? Each like episode takes me like 3 hours to do at least.
Well, you must suck. And I'm not kidding with that. With like Walking Dead and stuff.
No, I like to
I could
think
sit
about
down
my
and I could
choices
think.
and like survey like the areas and look around and get all the things that I can possibly do and
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm serious. Like the last Game of Thrones episode that took me like I know at least like 2.5 hours.
Ah, cool. How many more hours till the dragons come?
6 billion. Actually, in the last episode, because in the series or where they're on this season break, in the last episode, they met the dragon because she lost her dragon because it like ate some child and ran away or whatever. So the person you're playing as now, he's going to get passage back to his family because he actually found the dragon that's lost because it attacked his uncle.
Who is a monkey?
He's not a monkey. He's just a guy who apparently what do you call it? when you exile. Let's say exile someone to a nation, you try to come back and get them, and then the only person that's been your family for the whole time you've been exiled, he tries to kill.
Yeah, so he's Gary
And also
Glitter.
bring you back. There you go.
I'm not sure if anyone else saw that where Gary Glitter kept getting being sent back over to us for being a paedophile. They're like, no, stop trying to unload your Gary Glitter on us. But that might be a conversation for another day of content versus price.
Yeah. I will add though that it is actually possible to kind of do both. Because that game that recently came out, Ori and the Blind Forest, like that's a super pretty game. You know, it kind of looks artsy, indie kind of thing, but it actually has some pretty decent gameplay. I didn't like it as much as a lot of other people, but you know, it was still a game. It definitely had lots of gameplay, and it was still fairly good. So they can actually do both. It just seems like they don't want to. Usually, I think they focus too much on. Unfortunately, the arty side, where, in all honesty, I'd rather they focus on the gameplay side. I mean, whether or not, you know, I know not everyone's gonna like Minecraft, but that game looks like crap. But you know, like it still plays pretty well, and like I'd rather have it be fun to play than have it the prettiest thing ever.
Yep. Although I'm looking
gotta know what you're going into,
forward
you know?
to Telltale Minecraft because part of me wants to
That's
see it
fucking
just
weird.
because what the fuck is this?
I can't. Whenever that's brought up, all I think of is that animated GIF somebody made, where the guy punched the tree to get the wood, and then it says, "Tree will remember you did this." Like, it's funny to me.
Tree, remember you did.
Oh, poor tree.
Pew sympathizing with a tree.
Well, just a minute. I mean, if it can talk, you know, and you like take a part of it, it's like, dude, you just fucking chopped my leg off. What the hell?
He
Like,
didn't
can you
say it
imagine
could
that?
talk. He just said it was a normal tree. The guy punched it to get wood, and I just said,
But
tree
if
will
the
remember
tree
that.
can remember it, then it's like that's probably what it's thinking, you know?
Oh god. But yeah, I'm like, what the hell is that gonna be? But yeah, I agree. Now you can get games that look pretty, you might like you mentioned, like
Yeah.
as much as I like for gameplay and for look and stuff, it's cinematics and stuff. If something like say, I don't know, Batman Arkham Asylum. I wouldn't call that overly artsy, but they did capture the look right and do great big cinematics for some stuff.
Mhm.
Same thing with the Mass Effect games and it's Dragon Age games, both of them. That's how we're ignoring the third one. But it's a case of, you know what I mean?
Well, to be fair, there isn't anything called Dragon Age 3.
No. True.
So it's fine to say 1 and 2 because
Yeah, it's a spin-off.
Yeah. There you go.
It's like Mario Party. It doesn't affect the main story of Super Mario. Uh-huh. You know what I'd like to see once in Mario?
What?
We saw Peach get kidnapped.
Mhm.
We've seen Daisy get kidnapped.
Mhm.
I believe Rosalina got kidnapped at one point, or at least she was there doing something.
I don't think she was
Chose
ever.
a life of loneliness.
Yeah, but we've
Yeah.
at least seen Peach
Yeah.
kidnapped all the time, and we keep seeing, and we saw Daisy kidnapped.
Mhm.
Let's see one where Luigi gets kidnapped. I think that would be amazing to see Luigi kidnapped and Peach helping Mario to try and get Luigi back. Just because you imagine some of the story, like if they did any dialogues or you know, like the text box they do.
Mhm.
Like at the end, I'd like to see not Pew. I'd like to see Peach. Sorry, they're very similar. I'd like to see them basically. I'd like to see Peach turn
Or
to
Peach.
Mario. I'd like to see Peach turn to Mario and just be like, "That was exhausting. How do you do this every week?" And that's Mario. How'd you get kidnapped every week? Well, to be fair, Bowser always comes up with elaborate plans, and then it's just him just walking up to it with a sack. But no, like I said, it's like there's loads of games that do cinematic stuff and good gameplay, but yeah, there's some very rare games that are going to be like, ooh, with all the art. Like There is one coming out which I think is very artsy, really fucking artsy, in my opinion, in terms of how it looks and stylized and stuff. But it looks like it could be fun to at least experience.
Mm-hmm.
No Man's Sky, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, that looks cool.
It's weird that we're all playing online at the same time, but yet your friends could be in a fucking another distant galaxy. Because I wouldn't want to.
Everyone's playing online, but good luck finding somebody.
Yeah, I'm gonna laugh if I finally find like Richter or something, kill him. I'm kidding. I wouldn't kill you, Rick. Though I did kill Jim yesterday on GTA.
Oh.
We had a dick on there when basically we were doing one of the heists, and then he quit, and then it puts us all on this island together, and he used that as an advantage to just kill everyone to try and take their monies.
Mm.
Then, as he doing, I'm like, I'm gonna kill him. Jim's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill him too. I'm like, I think I see him, and Jim's like, you do? Yeah, I think I see him. Boom! I take the shot, and suddenly I see Jim go, fuck, he killed me, and I just see the bottom SSJ Mo killed GP. I'm like, ooh. Because Jim was far away, I couldn't see his nameplate. All I could see was a dude stood behind the tree, so I pointed my gun and just took the headshot. And I'm like, ooh, I kind of feel a little bad. I just executed him. Oh well.
Did he ever figure that out, or no? Did he?
He did, because at the time I stayed quiet, and he's like, you killed me. I'm like, damn it, I hoped you wouldn't notice that. He's like, it says in massive writing. So like, but no. Yeah, like I said, there's some games that do the artistic stuff well and all that. But yeah, a lot of times some people also get too up, in my opinion, on their own thing. But like, oh, this isn't a game, this is art. And I get that movies are art, and songs can be seen as art and stuff. Games should not be seen as art, in my opinion, just by the definition of being a game. It's something you're supposed to play.
Mm-hmm.
Like a film is something you're supposed to watch. Art is something you're supposed to look at. That makes sense.
Well, I would say they can also be art, but they primarily should be a game, and one shouldn't sacrifice the other. Like, it's allowed to be art if it can also be a game. First.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because, like, I would call, like, that game Papo and Yo, I would call, like, that game art. Because the graphics were incredibly beautiful, but as well, the gameplay and the storytelling were equally matched by the ridiculous, amazing graphics.
Which would make sense, but like you said, it also had good gameplay or whatever, which...
Yeah, it has to be a game first, and then if it can also make it art as well, after the gameplay has been, like,
I would make the case technically any game would be considered art by that definition. It's like, as much as, like, say you don't like, I don't know, Destiny, at least some of even though people still built those models, they still designed those people, how they look, they still texted them, it's still art in that sense. But what I mean by it shouldn't be art is there's people who are like, oh yeah, this game, I don't see it. Like, there's a few on PlayStation Store where even the developers like, we didn't see this as a game. We just saw this as art, and this is a new medium.
Well, I mean, like, good art, not snobbery art. I mean, like, actual, like, art, not snobbery, ooh, lets me tip my beret and spin it around and eat some tiny cheeses when drinking wine art.
Not all people like art French.
They do that over here in America, too.
With berets, cheese, and wine? Shouldn't be a thing. But
well,
no.
The berets and the snobby, yeah, I see that like beatniky. I don't know if I think they drink like Java though, not wine.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't mind the artistic stuff in galleries too. If like, oh well, I think the artist was going for this, or I think he was going for this. It's like, I think he was just really hungry and drew a can of soup. But people don't like that comment. But what do you think? Well, I think he was just hungry. That's clearly a can of soup. No, they're like, no, that's not what you're meant to be doing with this. But no, it's a case of I could see a place for that stuff, and that stuff is very important. But I meant art as in when I say like I said, games shouldn't be that art. Like you mentioned, like Flow, and there's another one and stuff on PS3 and PS4 and stuff where they're on the store and people can go and see which ones they are. But the developers have come out and said we didn't want this to be a game. A game is something you pick up and you just play. We wanted this to be an experience. We wanted this to be something that moved you. We wanted this to be
You
art.
mean like that gaming company where they had like the flower and stuff, and it's like, we don't sell games, we sell experiences. And I'm like, fuck you.
I think that's what Rick was on about with Flow.
Yeah, I think it's the same company.
Like no, but like that company has frequently said we don't sell games, we sell experiences, and I'm like, fuck you. Like, what kind of artsy bullshit is that?
To be fair, that's basically the same thing as Disney says. If we don't sell films, we sell memories. Yeah, I remember when you ripped into my heart and pulled it out and showed it.
I was gonna say, if you replace the word self or destroy, then I'd agree with you.
Yeah. We sell memories. Yeah, like remember when Cinderella's mother went back in time? Oh, wait. We're not supposed to remember that, are we? That was a really shitty memory. We didn't say good memories. Touche, Disney, touche. But it's like, but you know what I mean with that, like she mentioned with the, we sell experiences, and I've seen that. If we sell experiences, or we thought this is a new medium to help people see art. And I'm like, I get it, because some people will do art from stuff like, there is art where people have just taken everyday items and displayed them in a unique way, and that's in a gallery somewhere. But people shouldn't pay that for a video game. If you're buying a game, you should want a gamer. I would make the case, no matter what type of gamer you are, if you're a PC gamer that likes to play MMOs or MOBAs or something like that, if you're an Xbox gamer that likes the shooters or the racing games, PlayStation 1 that likes stuff like the JRPGs and fighting games and stuff, even down to iPhone people that like to do Candy Crush, you're playing a game, you're gaming. That's cool. That's what a game is. It's not supposed to be look at it. Because, no. I understand you're supposed to look at it. Sorry, blind people. Let's just say there's a reason there was no Stevie Wonder presents Guitar Hero or Rock Band.
Make it happen.
Stevie Wonder's Rock Band. You have to play blindfolded and use the force.
You play it acoustically. Click, 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 click.
Yes. Coming soon, Kurt Cobain. Rock Band. With new shotgun attachment.
There you go.
But did anyone else have anything to add to our little topic of art versus game?
Not really. I mean, I could see marketing it as an experience, but I feel like they try to market it as an experience that's also a game, and that's part of the fallacy, is that it's not necessarily. Like, I'm okay with it, and I'm not saying it's a worse or better experience than a game, but it's definitely a different one. It's not the same experience. And also, one thing I'd want to throw out there is, if a game is super artsy, much in the way an indie film versus a normal film, it doesn't make it inherently better. Like there seems to be a thing of like, oh, Last of Us, that's so pretty, and like, well, the game's not that good. It doesn't matter. Look how much better it is than like, just stare at my shelf there, like what is that? Like Disney Infinity or something like that. Like, oh, this is a better one because it's so artsy, and like, no, that doesn't make it better just because it's like, it like looks nicer. If it doesn't play as good, then it's not better. Like, you can like it more, but that doesn't necessarily make it better just because it's artsy. Just like because some, grungy filmmaker puts something at Sundance doesn't necessarily make it better than Avengers. No.
Sometimes indie stuff is shit, and that's why they're an indie.
That is very true.
I would make the case with films. A lot of times the indie ones are better.
Yeah, but it's not. They're not better because they're indie. Like just
No.
by being indie does not make it better.
No, just by
Yes.
being indie doesn't make it better. It's just a load of films get ruined by big studios.
Yes, that is
like
very
you must
true.
have this much sex in there,
But just
which I would say is the opposite of this situation of with games. They're normally not that good because they concentrate on the graphics. It's like big summer blockbusters concentrate on explosions instead of story.
Look at our CG.
Yeah.
What's the pull of our movie? It has CG. They all do that. Crap.
Ours has more CG than any other film, but Toy Story is entirely made of CG. Yes, this goes even further. What? How?
It's longer.
It's longer by 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's more CG. Bam.
Yeah, but it's just like with games, it's like the main point of a game is gameplay, obviously. Like the main point of a film is the story. It's not supposed to be, oh, look at the explosions, or oh, look at the pretty bird. That's cool. Pretty bird, cool, I suppose. Which, yeah, well, that should be a topic for another day of something else you kind of touched upon there as well, Rivk. You know when you mentioned Disney Infinity?
Mm-hmm.
Just because this could even be next week's topic, we don't know unless something major comes up, but I really fucking hate the amount of people out there that are like, oh, it's got cartoony graphics, it's just for kids, or it's got cartoony graphics, it must suck compared to ultra-realistic game.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not how this works. But Disney Infinity, they all look like toys. Yes, because you put a toy on the face. It makes sense. They're actually toys you're playing as. Nah, I don't want to play as a toy. Ugh. Like I saw someone mention they wanted Disney Infinity to look like Batman Arkham Asylum at one point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, why? Why? And I'm like, because then that's how I imagine the game should look. No! Like, I've even seen people complain that the Lego games look too cartoony, and I'm like, oh, it's Lego. But did you have anything to add, Pew?
Just the fact that you were just still complimenting the Arkham Asylum thing that just blew my mind.
Okay.
Like, who would even say that? Like, about Disney Infinity, it's like, what? Do you know what this game is? Have you seen it?
It would be the same people that take a look at, like, say, Legend of Zelda or Mario and say, haha, they're inherently just for babies. They're not Call of Duty.
Sounds like the same people who played Hyrule Warriors and goes, this is the worst Legend of Zelda game ever.
But I shall take us out then. I was your host, Quiz, aka The Mole, and we will see you next week.